connections between modern physics and practical regenerative medicine. This new regenerative therapy does not replace the symptomatic, sometimes life-saving effect of drugs, but completes them by increasing the body's coherent energy, producing anti-aging and healing effects. Modern physics has laws counterintuitive to linear logic, so their application in medicine today produces counterintuitive results that appear like miracles. I'll show you a video right away to help you understand the potential of this new regenerative medicine. This is an X-ray of a puppy with a catastrophic fracture of the spinal column. Obviously, he can use his bad legs, and he has been like this for about a month. The regenerative treatment I will speak about is this dog's only chance. You can see the terrible situation of the puppy. This is impossible to make something, but now you can see. 3 days after treatment, the owner sent me this video. The puppy can stand by, not walk. Can stand but not walk. See. The video is after 1 year. Over 2 years, we did another 4 treatments, and this shows his progress. The treatment worked well because the dog is very young. After 2 years, this kind of miraculous result is not always possible, but I am seeing them more often in my work. "40 minutes are few to explain the connection between regenerative medicine and modern physics, but I'll try. I'm a veterinarian who works mainly on orthopedic horse pathologies. The technique I use has extensive know-how, which includes many treatment systems where regenerative medicine is essential. This vision presents regenerative agents as orchestra directors, not just peaks, but waves and particles at the same time. Theoretical physics concept 1, energy equals light speed squared, that correlates energy and matter. This type of regenerative medicine comes from an intuition in which blood is seen as the central element. Theoretical physics concept 2, David Bohm's quantum potential. This is the subtle and informative energy that guides everything in the universe, as explained in his metaphor. A new ship with new engines, a full tank, and an excellent crew in a stormy night with reduced vision and 30-meter high waves will not reach port without a rather subtle and informative energy. This subtle, informative, vital, holographic, and potential energy that belongs to the parallel energy world that moves the universe is crystallized and materialized in the blood of the living body. Some kinds of leukocytes on contact with growth factors change into hematopoietic, mesenchymal, and pluripotent stem cells after about 20 days. In clinical practice, I have seen these factors can play a role even in homeopathic uses, in frequencies, or by using the individual autologous growth factors. There are some books and publications that explain my theory in the last slide. Producing purified stem cells, putting them in a synthetic culture brought, in contrast, security and sterility problems, plus many practical, legal, logistical ones that had to be overcome. The solution to this could be keeping autologous stem cells in all blood, knowing that they represent only one of the blood's regenerative components, in which the holographic, outside of the space-time dimension vital energy is present. Whole blood could be sterilized from exogenous and endogenous contamination if put in contact with an oxygen ozone mix, resolving the sterility of cell cultures. In this presentation, there will be many images and videos to show the practical effect of this new regenerative medicine. This is the case of a horse with a multifractured elbow inoperable. He cannot put weight on his leg, so will not be able to live much longer. I injected the activated blood around the joint. Okay. I injected the activated blood around the joint, hoping for a large bone callus to save his life. You can see that he cannot put weight. It's impossible to live for a long time. Surprisingly, after 3 treatments and 5 months later, the X-ray are this. The fragments are all in place thanks to the information received. After 8 months, the horse has returned to his normal life. He can make trot, he can make gallop, and usually you have to put down on this kind of lesion in horses. Gallop. This is a catastrophic tarsus os fracture. I don't know where I can use this. I don't know what is the, I want to show the, that's impossible. Okay, this is the fracture, and this is the slippage of the fracture bones 15 days after being plastered. This is the slippage, it's impossible. Usually put down the horse in this case. The horse cannot rest its leg, and the bones are not stabilized, and they cannot lie down and get up again. This causes certain death for every horse in this situation, because no surgery can help. After the pre-lesional treatment, the horse found a way to rest, but it can be seen that the bones are not stable. You can see the bone now, it is not stable, look at it. And in this period, the owner smelled putrefaction under the plaster. I don't think this is the correct thing to put the plaster, but the situation, the plaster removed. This was the situation, and my assistant recommended euthanasia. But the owner wanted to do another attempt. So I treated the horse around the wound. Okay, around and inject the activated blood. This is the evolution of the skin lesion, time 0, after 2 months, and after 4 months. After 3 months, the horse left box for the first time, can rest his leg, and the owner took him home. You can see also, I don't know as I can see. You can see also the lesion and the wounds. But he can put his head on the leg. X-ray, it's 8 months later, a large bone callus formed, which saved his life. The owner no longer rides the horse, but after 9 months, she sent me this video to show that it's fine, because she saw the horse in the paddock that made the trot, gallop, and she wanted to show me that we have a very good results. It's incredible results. 2 years later, you can see the shiny coat, good condition, and it's very happy. This is the owner with her daughter, the horse with her daughter. Speaking about skin lesion, I show this video. This is a dog with burns that had been treated for a few months with creams without results. You can see the terrible burn in the skin. I treated the dog with activated blood around the lesion, and okay, very bad lesion. And now you can see 45 days after regenerative treatment, the wounds are closing, and I did a second treatment around the scar because I would like to have some results only also on the scar. This is the result after 4 months. You can see scar, but not great. This is good shine coat. Blood is 99% water molecules. Theoretical physics concept 3, water memory. That is the ability to register and transmit information through the water molecules, semi-free electrons. Ozone, on contact with blood, changes into oxygen, releases electrons that increase the blood's semi-free water electrons, with which this water registers and transmits vital energy. This new vision explains why oxygen-ozone therapy works. Theoretical physics concept 4, the quantum theory of resonance and oscillation. For the theoretical physicist Emilio Giudice, all the elements of matter have a common behavior and form a structure determined by energy fields that overlap. They recall a dance in which the single element loses its individuality to enter the holistic whole. It means that every particle of the body has holographic awareness of entire organs. According to this, all the blood's components form a perfectly coordinated black hole in which every part contains information of the whole. To the blood's vital and informative energy that's outside of space-time, we add oxygen-ozone's chemical energy and electromagnetic energy through a specific program prepared ad hoc for use with the latest laser. We then add thermodynamic and cosmic energy. Other evidence is that, unexpectedly, incredible regenerative results happened before the stem cells formed, but diminished in their presence. Blasted cells were less efficient when they materialized, whilst their precursors had an extraordinary regenerative effect, because they were rich in potential energy that diminished as they became stem cells. This is not coherent with Newton linear physics, but is with modern physics. This is why it is not correct to speak of stem cell therapy, but activated blood therapy. This is a 27-year-old horse with chronic panophthalmitis one eye and is blind in the other due to PPID, pars pituitary intermediate dysfunction, an illness similar to Parkinson. Here, dopamine is no longer produced by the hypothalamus, causing a larger pituitary gland with optic chiasm compression, causing blindness. You can see the eye. This is the panophthalmite, and this is the eye blind now. The horse can walk only near his luna, and it is impossible to see for him now. You can see when he touched the shoulder of the overall stop. Now you can see that it's impossible. You see, the owner was prepared to do anything for his horse. I explained that there was a little hope, but he wanted to try anyway. Here, you can see he's blind and is suffering from hirsutism, another symptom of PPID. Bad condition in 27-year-old horses are very old horses. 100 days after treatment, the owner told me his horse will see again, and I amazed went to check the horse. This is 100 days after. Not only could the horse see, but his general condition had improved. I repeated the treatment. Okay, you can see that. 100 days after treatment, the owner told me this. Okay. Not only could the horse see, but his general condition improved. I repeated the treatment, and 2 months later, the horse was transformed and seemed much younger. It's incredible because as a 10 years old horse, good coat, shiny coat, good energy. Incredible rejuvenation. I want to show you what it jumps. Okay, you see. The holographic effect is explained by modern physics with fractals, which express the concept of self-similarity. Fractal theory is the 5th concept of theoretical physics, which states that every small part of a set contains the information of the whole set. The meteorologist Edward Lorenz discovered the existence of a chaotic system sensitive to small variation, the attractors, and he expressed it in his famous phrase, "The flood of a butterfly's wings in Brazil set off a tornado in Texas. The attractors represent the 6th concept of theoretical physics." The 7th concept of theoretical physics is entanglement, the biophysical effect at distance. 2 particles united and then separated continue to influence each other at distance. In our case, a small quantity of blood increasing energy transmits this change to the entire organism of which it was part, and it does so immediately, that is, outside of space-time dimension, and to every infinitesimal part of the organism that is holographic. An increase in coherent energy in the body increases its efficiency with anti-aging and healing effects. If a wheel turns slowly, it accumulates matter. When it picks up speed, energy, it eliminates the matter. The whole blood subsystem is autonomous, sterile, needs no laboratories, and is easy to use by doctors because it is injected into subcutaneous neuroepidermical points. It works according to Weber and Fechner law of minimum stimulus. Is coherent with Lorenz's attractor, whereby a small variation in an initial system provokes a long-term large variation. And to the quantum biologist Vladimir Poponet's phantom DNA effect. This new therapy and its know-how is not a substitute, but completes today's medicine. This is the key to improving pathologies considered today incurable, and above all in preventing them by keeping the body and mind young. The videos prove this complex scientific theory's value that is coherent with Nikola Tesla's idea. Science is but a perversion of itself, unless it has as its ultimate goal the betterment of humanity. This is a horse with a serious neurological disease that had worsened over a year and a half. This pathology has an infective cause. I stimulated the immune system with activated blood inoculated around the intervertebral, sacroiliac, and coxofemoral joints near the sciatic nerve. We also repeat short cycles of antibiotics. This is a terrible situation. It's 1 year and a half. They decide to put down the horse and then would like to try, this is the last chance. After the treatment, this is the horse improved after a month, and I repeated the treatment. Now, it doesn't move very well, but it is possible for the horse leaving the paddock with other horses. You can see. He can move now. Not very well, but he can. 1 year later, the horse was even better, a little lame, but not great problem. And I made another treatment. You can see a little lame, not good, perfectly coordinated. 2 years later, the horse is normal and works every day. Changed very much the horse. Rejuvenation is very, very good result. Because it is a neurologic problem and it's impossible to treat for horse medicine. This is an 18-year-old horse who had this catastrophic accident after jumping 1 meter above the fence. Now, look, this fence is 1 meter 40. Look, incredible jump, and after he has this bad lesion. He couldn't stand on his leg. He had a problem in the muscle, in the carpal tunnel, and the superficial flexor tendon lesion. You can see that down, this is the deep digital flexor tendon, and the other is superficial flexor tendon, no fiber inside. I treat those under the skin with the blood subsistence, and 15 days after first treatment with activated blood under the skin near the superficial tendon, you can see the result. He can walk. At this moment, we save his life. I repeated treatment monthly. 3 months later, you can see the horse is not perfect, but it's very, very good. This is ultrasound 6 months later. You can see the new fibers. The injury was considered incurable because of the horse old age. In these 6 months, I removed the adhesion between the tendon and the skin by surgery. You can see the fiber that begin to refold. 6 months later, the situation of the horse now is perfect, a little lame, but very few feet. Ultrasound now 9 months later, now the very good resolution, and 9 months later with this tendon problem. The most important thing is a very old person, 18 years old. This is the incredible result. Now I show you some eye diseases that are considered autoimmune, but instead have an infection component. We replace the classic immunosuppressive therapy with the activated plus immunomodulatory therapy. I injected the blood subsystem subconjunctivally into acupuncture eye points and as eye drops. This is immunomediated keratitis times 0. You can see the blood and that situation. 3 weeks later, you can see that the blood is more organized, and 2 months later, acquired recurrent uveitis, autoimmune disease which evolves in panophthalmitis. The horse in this situation has great pain. It's impossible to have the eye open. This is time 0 when I inject the horse. This is 15 days later. This is 50 days later. This is 6 months later. And this is 1 year later. This is a very impressive result. No needing corneal ulcer, time 0. This is in the old solution. No needing corneal ulcer, time 0. 2 weeks later, 100 days later, 2 years later, the horse time 0, and 16 months later, the horse is rejuvenated. No needing corneal ulcer in a dog. You can see the fluorescent in the corner. The dog has been under treatment for 4 months, and because he didn't respond, surgery was considered. But the owners first wanted to try with activated blood. After 1 month, the fluorescence showed less deep pulses, and another 2 treatments were performed. After 3 months, he was healed. In fact, the fluorescence showed nonsense. Okay, this is the degenerative arthritis. It is also considered an autoimmune disease, but often as an infectious cause, bacterial and viral. I show you the case of a horse with progressive degenerative arthritis in the metacarpophalangeal joint. The horse is in an area where Lyme disease is endemic. You can see it's very lame. I know it is not your walk, but it's very lame. And it is 1 year and a half in this situation that they try to inject the joint with many kinds of drugs. The horse had been treated in many ways, but after a year, he was deemed incurable. I treated him thinking that he had a chronic infection from Borrelia, Bartonella, and herpes virus, which I call Lyme syndrome. In this pathology, the number of lymphocytes in the synovial fluid is always increased. Not granulocyte, lymphocyte. Biofilm that contains bacteria and the 2 cells that contain viruses are lymphocytes and the epithelial cells of synovial capsule vessels epithelium are all weakened by cytotoxic effect of the antibiotic amikacin. So I injected this antibiotic into the joint together with oxygen ozone that sterilized and injected activated blood periodically. This treatment I repeated every 2 months for 4 times. This is the horse a year later, and he returned to full competitive activity. And you can see also the perfectly sound and shine good, good finish. When I treated the horse, he was 16 years old. Now you can see he's 20 years old now and has been put in the paddock. He moves perfectly and looks younger than his age. So this is the very present. Conclusion. I have been using this treatment for more than 10 years and I have never had side effects. In the blood, I consider matter and energy at the same time. The vital energy contained in the whole blood, where stem cell precursors are activated, is the quantum potential. The blood records and transmits information through its water molecules. The blood subsystem activated by various types of energy is the fractal representation of the organism with holographic knowledge of the whole. And like Lorenz's attractor, it can create a disturbance that recreates health and mental clarity. The blood subsystem has a holographic biophysical effect at distance entanglement. I am a retired vet, equine vet. I have 4 accepted patents, and I have never marketed this new regenerative therapy. However, I have written many books and published some works where I present my theory. They are on the last slide. It is a therapy that can help diseases considered difficult to treat, can be used in prevention and in physical and mental rejuvenation. It is a new therapy, therefore doesn't have a linear experimental trial, but a chaotic one. The more chaotic turbulence and apparent anarchy there is, the more we achieve an informed organization. It includes drugs, surgery, osteopathy, acupuncture, oxygen and ozone therapy, etc. And as activated blood as its central fulcrum, it has know-how that acts on disease causes and symptoms because it considers the entire length of the film, not individual frames. This therapy completes current medicine and also reduces the side effect of drugs. Perhaps medicine today is not yet ready to accept this paradigm shift, but the future is the future and cannot be stopped. My advice is less rigidity, more creativity, less reason, more intuition, less mind, more heart, all supported by unfailing will. Maybe we'll be less efficient, but happier and more alive. So, in this slide, you can see my work. Thank you very much.